This is Gorilla Monsoon, and your host. Well, is that how you want to be introduced from now on? I can arrange that, Plenty of exciting things here this week on Prime Time Wrestling. The Moondogs, Bobby, I want to make everyone aware, are going to see plenty of exposure for them this week, as they're going to be seeing all of our matches coming direct from the Boston Gardens, except our feature bout, which is Hulk Hogan and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, taking on the Moondogs. And the Moondogs are also going to be seen in individual competition, so they're going to get their fair amount of exposure, as will some of your men.
Harley Race.
Handsome Harley.
The King.
Why don't you mention Handsome Harley Race?
I was going to, but you so rudely interrupted me.
Okay, we've got another special piece from Gene Okerlund, who's going to take us back to the land of the rising sun once more and make even more insecure one Bobby the Brain Heenan.
No. I'm glad this is happening.
Oh, great.
I want you to show all the footage you can of Gene Okerlund in Japan with the super machine and the giant machine, because that'll just give me more evidence when I present it in front of Jack Tunney.
Oh, great. Well, if you can make a tape of this, and maybe you can put it together. And
I'm the host. I can get all tapes I want of this.
Okay.
With
We're
your
also going to
party
see
race.
another tremendous tag team match, in my opinion, maybe not in Bobby's, but certainly in mine, and that is out of the All-American out of Syracuse University, Mike Rotundo, teaming up with the Golden Boy, Danny Spivey. They will present a problem even to the likes of Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy. Would you not agree?
I don't agree.
You don't agree. Well, all that action coming up. Plenty of exciting matches this week here on Primetime Wrestling. So let's go down to ringside in the Boston Gardens. We take a look at Les Thornton teaming up with Tiger Chung Lee. Exciting action.
Your host.
Should be a good matchup. Veterans Tiger Chung Lee. And, of course, the man of 1,000 holes, Les Thornton. He's a good one.
From out of England. Watch out. I think he's throwing things at you, Gene. Gave a few derogatory looks to you as well.
Well, Les and myself have had our verbal battles in the past.
I'm sure.
As have Mr. Chung Lee and myself.
Chung Lee went after you one night with that kendo stick, if I remember correctly.
He did indeed. That happened in Australia.
It did. Mike Rotundo starting off with Les Thornton. Another capacity crowd on hand here in the famed Boston Garden with that 16th banner hanging from the ceiling.
I'll tell you what, it's great. I had an opportunity this past week to play golf with one of the great stars for the Celtics. Of course, I'm talking about Kevin McHale.
What kind of a golfer is he?
Excellent.
Oh, great.
Excellent.
Side headlock by Thornton. Mike won't stay in this long. Look out. Nice shoulder block. Wow. He likes those patented New England style forearm uppercuts. Sort of give you a negative attitude. Nice head scissors by Rotundo out of there in a hurry. Why did you shoot in the tournament, Gene?
I didn't do that badly. Of course, we were playing the best 2 out of 4 balls, but we finished 22 under.
Oh, tremendous. I shoot in the low 80s myself.
I can imagine.
If it gets any warmer than that, I don't play.
Right.
Rotundo holding on to the head scissors. Les Thornton, of course, the recipient.
But look at the way that Thornton counters. Finally breaks it, but I believe Rotundo, yes, setting him up for a kickoff, and let's start it over again. Happens to be an especially warm night here in the Boston area and a very humid evening.
It certainly is. And whenever we're in the Boston Gardens, it's hot and humid, Gene, whether it's summer or winter or what have you. Tag made as the big Korean steps in, Tiger Chung Lee, who can unload on anyone in a hurry. Make you think about being at home watching the telly. Tag made, Tiger didn't see it, dropped down by Rotundo. Oh, the big left hand, right to the lower abdomen and one to the side of the head. And in control, the Golden Boy, Danny Spivey. Of course, we've had another Golden Boy here in the World Wrestling Federation for quite some number of years.
Oh, you could only be talking about the veteran octogenarian, the great Artie Skolin. Golden Boy Arnold Skolin.
Yes.
Wow. What a career he had.
A name synonymous with the World Wrestling Federation and with professional wrestling in general.
I believe he's here tonight. It'd be great to get a few comments from the old Golden Boy.
Oh, 360 done by the big Korean, but it didn't work out for him. Scoop slam now, catches Spivey coming in. Nice kick out. Talk about speed and agility. That's a 6'8" frame that's doing all that. side mare takes him over, controlling. Well, when Danny Spivey first came here to the World Wrestling Federation, Gene, if you remember right, he wore those horrible-looking boots, those heavy fur things that he got rid of in a hurry.
Al Spivey, of course, a tremendous athlete at the University of Georgia in their football program. He made a decision a few years ago, and professional wrestling would be his life, and he's here with the big guys now and competing very well.
Well, if you want the best competition in all the wrestling world, you'll find it right here in the World Wrestling Federation. Look at that. Just picked up one leg a little bit, and he was able to leapfrog the big Korean. Side mare takes him over again. Here comes Thornton. Referee right on his case in a hurry.
Oh, look at that hair.
Blatant chokehold now. I think that Spivey, along with Rotundo, got to be one of the most impressive teams that I've seen in the last 6 months come up the trail here.
They are. Of course, they're new to us, and we try to analyze, I think, all of the new teams that come in, but you've got to remember the champions, the British Bulldogs, the Killer Bees, the Hart Foundation. We're seeing a lot of the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, Valentine and Beefcake. They're all still here.
Well, the Dream Team is still having nightmares, Gene, about the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago. Of course, you and I were there. Not too happy about what transpired that evening.
Well, that dream is over.
Luscious John says they're better right now than they've ever been and are ready to come back and strip the British Bulldogs of the title.
Well, the Bulldogs are back and healthy again, though, Gorilla. So,
well, they're going to be a handful regardless of who. I'll tell you who's been really making some leaps and bounds in the tag team competition of late, and that is another former world champion team, Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. They're really showing me something.
we've seen Junkyard Dog teaming up with George the Animal Steel periodically. There's another team that would certainly have to be well respected.
Absolutely. Uh-oh, in the wrong part of town, got the rope wrapped around the neck.
Come on,
of
Rap.
the Golden Boy.
Oh, Rotundo is hot, and I don't blame him.
He should be hot, being choked out right now by the big Korean, the Golden Boy, Danny Spivey, with a tag team rope. Manages to turn it loose just before the referee turned around. Front face lock now by Thornton. And Spivey trying to back him up into his own corner to make a tag.
Chung Lee and Les Thornton masters at double teaming an opponent when given the opportunity. I think we saw that pretty well right there.
Absolutely.
They worked over Spivey.
Of course, Spivey has got that youth and that speed and that strength on his side, and when you put all those attributes together, you've got a winning combination.
One of the most promising young big men that I've seen in professional wrestling in the many, many years that I've covered this great sport.
No question, Gene. No question about that. Oh, plants one right in the lower abdomen, does Les Thornton, and down to the canvas goes the Golden Boy. There's one thing it's hard to substitute for, and that's experience, and that's what the team of Les Thornton and Tiger Chung Lee really are going to make happen here, if anything.
You know, they do the smart, the intelligent thing, too. They really capitalize on quick teamwork, in and out. Stay fresh in there at all times.
In for the ride now. Oh, nice. Reverse knife edge right underneath the esophagus. Danny Spivey needs a tag here desperately.
Veteran Tiger Chung Lee, of course, can execute those martial arts to perfection.
Where's he going?
Oh, come on.
Tiger to the outside, a little bit slow getting up there. Spivey waiting for him. Whoa. Big scoop slam halfway across the ring. Big opportunity here for the Golden Boy to make the tag, but here comes Thornton with the referee hanging on him. Tag was not made.
Action hot and heavy in the Boston Gardens with that 16th banner hanging from the ceiling. Tribute to the Boston Celtics. Mike Rotundo and Danny Spivey getting a whole lot more offense out of the team of bigger Tiger Chung Lee and Les Thornton than they expected. We'll be back with the conclusion. Obviously, Bobby, you're not impressed by Rotundo and Spivey, are you?
No, I'm not.
No. But
You want me to be?
You wouldn't object to your men meeting them, though?
No, I wouldn't.
No, definitely not. We'll go back to ringside and see if they can, in fact, get a win in the Boston Garden.
Was not made, and Rotundo got a kick in there before he got out. There's the tag made.
Finally, good move for the Golden Boy. A fresh Mike Rotundo, and look at this.
Tiger Chung Lee wanted some time out, but there isn't any in professional wrestling. Now lowering the boom on both men. Oh, look at that, upside down.
Oh, my!
And a drop kick. Les Thornton in there where he doesn't belong, paid for it.
Gorilla Rotundo is on fire here this week.
Boy, he
in the
is
Boston
a
Garden.
tremendous athlete.
Oh,
Might make a soprano out of the big guy, certainly attempts it. Boy, that Les Thornton is everywhere. He's lightning fast out there. Look out. On the turnbuckle, hard in. Elbow met the big Korean coming out, and he went down in a hurry.
but just about like a delayed reaction. Could have conceivably taken the breath out of him.
Absolutely. Caught again, now in the wrong part of town. Mike Rotundo, referee moves him out of there quickly.
Well, he tried. He could have got in there a lot sooner, in my opinion. Tough for any one man to handle 4 men of this caliber.
Referee's job, a thankless one. Look out. Big backdrop. Wow.
My. Whoa.
Came down hard, high and hard, over for the cover. Got that right arm out of there. Won't get him. But he's like a bulldog, Thornton.
What a powerful kick out of the part of Rotundo.
Thornton now with a reverse chin lock, trying to slow down the All-American out of Syracuse. Now, Syracuse was on our wrestling schedule when I went to school.
Well, spent a lot of time in upstate New York. They sure cranked out a number of great ones out of that school.
Oh, my God, yes, they do. Chant going out from this capacity crowd, USA, hanging off the rafters literally here in the Boston Garden. As the World Wrestling Federation continues to be the hottest ticket in town. Referee did not see that tag. And Rotundo's paying for it.
Spivey has got to get back outside of the ring, hang out of the rope, let the referee get back over there and clear that mess up.
Well, that's a sense that only comes with timing, Gene, and with being with a partner for quite some time. And I really don't expect the Golden Boy to show me that yet, but he will. In the meantime, Rotundo's being pummeled there from the outside and from the inside.
Earlier on, a series of blows exchanged by Thornton and Rotundo. They were solid hits.
Big Korean now starting to unload with the heavy artillery. Rotundo in for the ride. Oh, put his head down. Big Korean made a cardinal mistake, dropped his head, and Rotundo makes the tag. Referee didn't have any trouble seeing that one, and here comes a southpaw. Irish whip in, backdrop coming up, yes.
275 pounds hits the canvas.
Les Thornton got knocked right off the apron on that move, Gene. It was out of our camera shot, but he certainly went down. Watch out. Placing that elbow right on the sternum. Golden Boy setting him up again. Drop kick. Oh, only caught him on the arm, but the momentum was there.
But of course, what Tiger Chung Lee had done, Gorilla Monsoon, was he grabbed the ropes trying to avoid, which he partially did, that flying drop kick on the part of Danny Spivey. However, when the rope snapped back, that momentum
Jerked him right out of there.
Carried Tiger Chung Lee out through the ropes, out of the apron and the arena floor.
Maybe a lucky break. Oh, look at that. Bringing him in the hard way, right over the top rope. Golden Boy winding up with those big lefts. Oh, right between the eyes. Another quick tag made as Rotundo once again steps in. Scoop slam of the big guy. Oh, dropped him just like a bad habit. You're not going to beat Tiger Chung Lee that way, I'm sorry. He is a much better wrestler than that, Gene.
45-minute time limit on this match. And of course, with the heat and the humidity that we're experiencing this week here in the Boston Garden, it's going to take its toll on these gentlemen.
No question about that. Of course, I don't know of any two guys that are in better shape than Les Thornton and Tiger Chung Lee. They're in tremendous condition.
Spivey and Rotundo.
Well, Rotundo, I know, stays in excellent shape all the time. I'm not too sure about the Golden Boy.
Oh, yes.
We'll find out.
Oh, I have seen him. I'll tell you what, he works religiously in weightlifting, conditioning.
Nice leapfrog and making the tag, and the Golden Boy comes in like a house of fire. And it's Thornton now being whipped in. Whoa, followed him right in. Nice shot. Watch out. Bulldog coming up. Oh, he caught him right on his own leg with it. Might have been enough to stun him. Yes.
Les Thornton doesn't even know what happened.
Got jammed in there. Got his face jammed right down into the thigh.
Thornton still does not realize what happened.
Les, you lost the match. Let's go up and get the official word.
The winners of this match, the team of the Golden Boy, Danny Spivey and Mike Rotundo.
Chalk up another one for that tremendous team. Out of Syracuse University, Mike Rotundo and Danny Boy Spivey.
Wow, talking about tag team partners, there's a couple of goodies right there in Rotundo and Spivey. You must be having nightmares about tag teams, Bobby.
Why would you say that?
Well, you're worried to death about a team that isn't even in these United States right now, and you issued a challenge, did you not, to Mr. Wonderful to go and find a partner for himself, and who did he pick?
Well, I even flipped in the corner. The call's on me.
Well, the call was on you, the last of the
Call
big
was on me.
spenders. Incidentally, you still owe 15 grand. I have it marked down here.
You can mark down 30 grand. You can mark down whatever you want. Nobody's getting a dime out of me.
Maybe we can get it out of Big John Studd or King
No.
Kong Bundy, or have
No.
your wages garnish sheet or
Can't
whatever.
do that. On the brain, I control everything.
Control everything. You'll have me walking the streets pretty soon.
Maybe within the hour.
Be in the unemployment line if you had your way, would you
End of the
not?
line.
Talking about tag team action, Bobby, Pedro Morales, who we're about to take a look at, teams up now of late with Tito Santana, two former Intercontinental champions. Got to be an unusually good team.
Two former champions. Two losers is what you're trying to say.
Well, you have to win something before you can lose it. They were two winners as well.
But they're basically known as former champions.
Well, your guys aren't champions or former champions. Let's go down to ringside right now. Moondog Spot taking on Pedro Morales, Boston Gardens. Excitement.
This match is one fall with a 20-minute time limit. First from parts unknown, weighing 274 pounds, Moondog Spot. And his opponent from Culebra, Puerto Rico, weighing 246 pounds, Pedro Morales.
Pedro Morales, Mr. Everything here in the World Wrestling Federation. You know, Gene, I think he's at exact the body weight now as when he was World Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion.
I don't know, I've known Pedro Morales for, I think, some 18, 20 years. He really hasn't changed a whole lot.
Not a whole lot, Gene, no.
He works at keeping himself in shape, too, Gorilla.
Certainly does, from the island of Culebra.
My island.
My island.
Beautiful part of the world.
Of course, the opposition here in the Boston Garden, Moondog Spotty, taking off about 20 pounds in the last month here, Gene.
He looks good.
He does.
Moondog Spot looks very good. Sound of the bell, and we're off and running with more action for the Boston Garden. The home here, of course, of the Celtics and the Bruins, and of some great wrestling tradition.
Boy, plenty of history here, Gene. This building put together
You're part of it,
in
Gorilla.
1928.
You're part of it.
Well, I wasn't around in 1928,
No.
I'll tell you that.
But you had many a match in this great facility.
Absolutely. Bruno Sammartino and I had some classics in here, Gene. In fact,
You know,
one night the ring broke right in the center, and both of us went out of sight.
Disappeared.
Just disappeared.
You know, there have been, you've heard this certainly, many who have tried to garner some kind of a movement to put up a superstructure in the downtown Boston area to replace this facility.
Be a big mistake.
It would be.
The memories that are within these walls here are just unbelievable.
They may want to throw in an air conditioning unit or two.
That might be a good idea. Side headlock now by Spotty. Morales won't stay in this long. He doesn't like side headlocks. Shoulder block. Sends a former champion down. Morales quickly dropping in front. Big backdrop. Holy mackerel. Spotty really came down hard. He's looking for timeout.
He got hurt. He got hurt. Did you see Morales move?
Quickness always been one of his fortes, James. Just when you think you got Pedro where you want him, you find out you don't.
Talk about a guy that's done it all in this great sport of professional wrestling. Pedro Morales has.
Held the World's Championship, held the co-holder of the World Tag Team title, Intercontinental Champion. He's done it all.
I would not be a bit surprised to see him do it all again.
Well, wouldn't surprise me one bit. And a tremendous individual outside the ring. A man's man.
He is. He is indeed. You talk about Culebra, Puerto Rico. At the invitation extended to me personally, I spent time with Mr. Morales down on that beautiful island paradise in the Caribbean.
That's exactly what it is, paradise.
It is.
Certainly takes care of his mom down there, doesn't he?
Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Spotty trying to figure out how to attack Pedro Morales, because everything he's done so far has not been successful. Of course, he's still got that ominous, stinking bone hanging off the turnbuckle, Gene. Not too far from us.
I'd like to know what the animal.
Shoulder block, nicely done by Spotty. Morales up quickly though, scoop slam, one arm job. Morales probably quicker tonight than I've seen him in a long time.
I don't think he's taken off any weight. He's just quick.
Yep. Well, sometimes you come into an old structure like the Boston Garden and a lot of memories go through your mind, Gene. A lot of things generating, I don't know, what can you call it, enthusiastic things that
Pumps you
start
up.
that adrenaline flowing.
Gets you pumped up.
Eye gouge by Spotty stops Pete dead in his tracks. Oh, look out, Morales. Luckily hung onto that second rope with his arm, or he'd have been right on our table down here. And Spotty taking advantage of the situation immediately. Blatant chokehold right in front of the referee. Danny Davis laying the count on.
You know, this is probably the only thing that Boondog Spot could do to counter the talents, the ability, capability of Pedro Morales. Watch out.
Suplex in, almost dropped him on his head. He might have caught the back of his head. 2 count. Whoa!
Whoa.
Morales just out of there.
Oh,
And he's still down and stunned. Boy, it looked like he came right down on the back of his head, Gene.
talk about close. But only in horseshoes and hand grenades.
What a feather in the cap of Moondog Spot. Had he been able to take a fall on Pedro Morales.
That was close. That was very close.
And Spotty, expressionless, always in the ring.
Gorilla Monsoon, let me ask you. You've been here both as a wrestler and quite obviously as a broadcaster for the World Wrestling Federation. These fans in Boston pretty much typify the fans we see across the country in the World Wrestling Federation.
Well, I think they're a little tougher in one respect, Gene.
They're special people.
Yeah, there's no, you know, a lot of places you go, you get fans that'll side with one guy, and as the match goes on, they'll side with somebody else, and they'll go back and forth. Not here, Gene.
Not at all.
They either love you or they hate you. There's no in between here.
Referee Danny Davis checking on that front face lock very closely. You just slip that forearm underneath the chin, and all of a sudden it turns out to be a choke.
Doesn't take much, just a little bit of an inch or so movement underneath, and it becomes a chokehold is correct.
A minor adjustment.
Minor adjustment. Well, Spotty forsakes now the reverse chin lock and backs Pedro into the corner. Oh, caught him with a big roundhouse.
Solid.
Morales sort of withering here under the barrage by Moondog Spot, and I think more than anything because of the heat. Spotty threatened Danny Davis, but he knows better than that. Morales hard into the turnbuckle. Spotty follows him right in nice under the shoulder. Hook up. Couldn't get him.
What a move, even though it didn't work out. What a move by Morales.
Still got those moves inside him and showed us one right there. Beautiful duck under with both legs. And Spotty just able to sneak out of there. Spotty right back on the attack.
How about Morales?
I think he's hot now, Jay.
Going for an irate.
When he gets bent out of shape, there's no telling what he'll do.
Look at this slugfest.
Oh, Spotty just drove him down into the canvas. That right arm is out of there. You're not going to pin him that way.
He is good. Moondog Spot is good. You got to give credit where credit is due, and he deserves it.
Well, he and Rex back in tag team competition once again here in the World Wrestling Federation. Of course, at one time there was a whole host of them here. Spike and some of the other Moondogs that were around. There was a whole liturgy.
Yes.
Duke, I think, was another one of them. Morales unloads with that big left hand, so dangerous. Winding up Spotty now. No, nice reversal. And Morales in. Oh, look at this.
Small
package. Cradle couldn't get him. Oh, look at that. Went for a fireman's carry. Morales slipped right up over the top. Reverse sunset. There it is.
Wow. That one would have to be banned in Boston. That's incredible.
Fast and furious action here in the Boston Garden. Let's get the official word.
Here is the winner, Pedro Morales.
Pedro Morales victorious. It was a number of combination moves that finally put away a Moondog Spot, but Spotty was right in there, right to the very end.
I'll tell you, that one went back and forth tooth and nail. Just one of the great matches. I like to see that kind of action.
Tremendous victory here in the Boston Gardens for Pedro Morales. Don't go away, fans. We'll be back.
Sign of a true champion. Pedro Morales using what he thought would put away Spotty. Nice small package. Spot able to kick out. Came right back. Nice over-the-top back flip, sunset roll up. That's a sign of a true champion.
You're right, Monsoon. He certainly is a true champion.
I'm
I'd
right.
like to say one thing about Pedro
You said
Morales.
I'm right?
You're right. You're right. I'll tell the
mark
truth.
this down. I'll mark this down. Man says
Why don't you write it in Japanese?
Gorilla's right.
Let me tell you one thing about
I don't
Pedro
speak
Morales.
Japanese.
Neither does the machine and the giant machine and the stupid machine.
How do you know? Did you hear that?
Let me explain something about Pedro Morales. I heard you mention there that he does a lot for his mother. And I'd like to tell you people right now, he is exactly the truth. He does a lot for her. You know, once a month, he goes back to the island and makes sure she has over 50 to 60 pounds of cheap wooden jewelry to sell to tourists.
That's a lie.
I heard that. That's just what I
That's
heard.
an outright lie. Pedro Morales, certainly a fine individual. Right now, let's go to a special interview with Ken Resnick and the former World Tag Team Champions.
Again, thank you, Gorilla Monsoon. We have talked about the list of challengers to the British Bulldogs. Certainly amongst the top contending teams, the former tag team champions, the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. But before we talk about the British Bulldogs, I would imagine you must be still smarting from, I guess we can call it the embarrassment you suffered at WrestleMania 2 at the hands of Corporal Kirshner.
I don't have no embarrassment. American people have embarrassment. Corporal Kirshner embarrassed the whole American people.
How can
because
you say
he
that?
showed how coward he is. So now the way American people are coward, just like Corporal Kirshner.
How
He
can
stole the cane from my manager.
Now, wait,
he hit
Nikolai
my
Volkov,
manager.
Just a
he
minute,
hit
Nikolai
me.
Volkov. A
Shut up!
worldwide audience saw your
Let me tell you
manager,
another
Freddie
thing.
Blassie, try and throw him the cane. Throw you
Freddie
the
Blassie
cane.
never do that. He cannot walk without the cane. Corporal Kirshner stole the cane. He hit me. He hit my manager, and he go pay. And after I finish with him, then we go be the British Bulldog because those belts are ours. We never lost those belts. They were stolen from us.
You know,
Iron Sheik, what have
just
you
a
got?
minute, John, before you interrupt me, I'd like to ask you something. See, you make it to the WWF, you're an intelligent man, but I want to ask you, do you know who was WWF champion before? Do you know who was before Hulk Hogan?
You were the heavyweight champion of the world, granted.
Excellent. Do you know who was a tag team champion before that English punk bulldog? Do you know who was
Greg
it?
the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake.
How about before them? Who was it?
Yourself and Nikolai Volkov.
Excellent. Now, intelligent American, no, cameraman, zoom it. We did it A to the Z. International Wrestling Magazine. Hulk Hogan, every human being know. Referee was your cousin, you take the belt from me. English Bulldog, Nicola and I, we ready. Cameraman, zoom.
Outspoken as they come, the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov. We'll be right back.
Wrestling fans, we're back, and if you remember, several weeks ago here on Prime Time Wrestling, I'm sure you remember, right? We showed a special TNT piece involving the mating game, which the Anvil Jim the Anvil Neidhart won a special date in lieu of $10,000.
If you call that winning.
Yolanda Jones. What's wrong with Yolanda? Well,
Nothing's wrong with
he
her.
had some second thoughts about it, and obviously the $10,000 and Yolanda didn't mean as much to him as he thought. He made another proposal to the producers, and we're going to take a look at that right now. Let's go to a TNT piece.
Stop in the name of love and get ready for your favorite game where the contestants act stupid for Cupid, the mating game. And now, here's our very own captain of the love dinghy, Gene Okerlund.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And welcome to the mating game. And welcome to the mating game, the game where love is blind, and some of our contestants look better that way. We've got a very special bachelor back with us tonight. You may remember our last episode, and if you don't, I'm going to tell you about it anyway, where Jim the Anvil Neidhart won the favors of Bachelorette Yolanda Jones. We had made reservations for the dream date of a lifetime at the beautiful romantic 3 Mile Island. And they also had the possibility of splitting up the grand prize of $10,000 if they would only come back to the show and share all the details of their evening together. Well, unfortunately, Jim the Anvil Neidhart refused to go to 3 Mile Island with Yolanda. In fact, he reportedly told Yolanda that her face gave nuclear waste a bad name. He then requested that we here at the mating game give him a shot at picking his own date from 3 bachelorettes. So, in the true spirit of the mating game, the producers have decided to give him a rematch. While the Anvil waits backstage in a special soundproof padded room, we're going to introduce to you our 3 lovely bachelorettes. Bachelorette number 1 hails from way out west, specifically a small town called Wango, where men are men and the women are about $20 an hour. Her high school voted her the girl most likely to play with Jacks, Freds, Martys, and Bills. Her hobbies include rubber goods, catching some rays, and Freds, and Martys, and Bills, and seafood, which is why she moved closer to the Naval Academy. She holds a degree in animal husbandry, and she's got the films to prove it. Won't you please welcome Miss Sandy Butkiss. Let's hear it. Our next bachelorette comes from the Northeast, where she teaches bundling on the side and on the top. She also works part-time at a bakery where she specializes in hot cross buns. She tells us her turn-ons include the Smurfs, whipped cream, and beds that you put quarters into. Her turn-offs are badly lip-synced Japanese horror films, hemorrhoid commercials, and men with no quarters. Won't you please give a nice hand to Miss Emma Teaser? How about it? Bachelorette number 3. Bachelorette number 3 is a real homebody. And if you look like that, your body would be home a lot too. She comes from the Deep South. In fact, one of her relatives invented the cotton gin, which never really caught on because nobody wanted to drink fuzzy booze. She loves to read. In fact, she was really into Shakespeare, but he never cared much for her, and they had to break up. Her idea of a dream date is anybody that will go out with her. Please welcome from Ponscombe, South Carolina, Miss Clarabelle Dingham. And there they are, ladies and gentlemen, our 3 bachelorettes just waiting for our lucky bachelor to come out here and play love, Russian roulette style. Now, let's not keep anybody in suspense any longer. Give a warm welcome, please, to the mating game. Welcome, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Jim, good to see you. I know that you're ready to play, so let's have the 3 bachelorettes say hello to you from their seats. Bachelorette number 1, please.
Hello, Anvil.
Hello. How sensuous.
All right, bachelorette number 2. Bachelorette number 2.
What? What?
Bachelorette number 2. What? You want to say hello to Jim the Anvil Neidhart?
Sure, where is he?
Perhaps we better move on for the moment, Jim, you don't mind. Bachelorette number 3, how about you?
How you, Anvil? How you hanging?
Real loose, baby.
I like that one. All right, now, Jim, I'm sure you have some questions for the girls, so let's fire away.
Okay, bachelor number 1. If I came over to your place after work one night and you told you that some crud that I defeated in the ring that night had managed to put, shut up! That managed to put a boo-boo on my body, how would you make it all better?
Well, depending on where the boo-boo is, I'd nurse it and make it all better.
Oh.
I like that. It's a lot better than the first mating game. Okay, bachelor number 2. If we were out in the woods late at night without a match, how would you light my fire?
Well, we would not rub sticks together.
Ooh. Ooh la la.
That is suggestive, yes.
Yes. All right, bachelor number 3.
Where's Wendy?
What is your favorite color, and how would you wear it for me?
Well, Anvil, my favorite color's red. And I would go down to Saks Fifth Avenue, and I would buy the sexiest red negligee that I could find.
Ooh.
And I would do my dance around the room for you and turn you on.
All right, apparently that answer agrees with the anvil. All right, Jim, you have 3 more questions before you have to decide on your date.
Boy, this is going to be tough. Okay, bachelor number 1 again. If your body is an instrument, how do you like it to be played?
Why, Anvil, I would be a piano, and I'd let you run your fingers across my keys until I was ready to be played.
I like that myself.
Okay, this is getting good. I'm getting hot. Okay, bachelor number 2, bachelorette number 2. Would you classify an evening with you as a snack, a banquet, or a dessert?
A banquet, of course, the kind where you can never get your fill.
Sounds like a smorgasbord to me, but go right ahead, Anvil.
It's getting hot back here. And bachelorette number 3.
Where's Wendy?
If you and I decided to wrestle one night, what kind of holds would you use?
Well, Anvil, first I would probably use a couple of body slams, and then a few head scissors, and I'd just swing you and take you away to where I wanted to have you.
Did she say flying head scissors? That's what I thought. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a tough choice for Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Who do you think he should take along on his dream date? We're going to be finding out if your choice and his choice are the same right after these important messages. Don't you dare go away. We're going to be right back.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart appears to me between the rock and the hard place again, Bobby.
He certainly does. I'll have to agree with you on that one.
You're agreeing with me again. I'm about to be ill, I think.
There's somebody can get you.
Fabulous one looked pretty good, I'll have to admit that, but so did the other 2 beauties. We're going to find out in just a moment what the Anvil thinks. We'll be right back. We're back, fans. Let me put it to you, Bobby. If you were in the shoes of the Anvil, who would you pick?
Well, there'd be no choice. I mean, there's only one person to pick up there. That's bachelorette number 4.
Number 4. Obviously, 1, 2, and 3 not in the category of the brain. Let's go back to the mating game.
And welcome back to the mating game. Jim has got a very tough decision to make, and it won't be any easier when he hears about the dream date that we've arranged for him and his lady. First of all, everybody likes to dress up for that big evening. So, Jim, you and your date will each be given a gift certificate for $25 to pick out your wardrobe from Wilma's House of Polyester. Yes, that's right. Wilma Wilma will be there to personally assist you in picking out that ensemble that's right for you. And from those amusing fall-down ankle socks for him to a tried and true, previously worn imitation blouse with the minimum of snags for her. Remember Wilma's slogan, from our racks to your backs. Now, once properly attired, you'll be whisked away in a beautiful 1986 Lincoln Continental provided by the Smirts Funeral Home. Watching from the front seat as the countryside races by along I-95, I might add, you'll arrive before you know it in scenic Hindsight, New Jersey, where you and your date will be the honorary king and queen of the annual Armpit Festival. You'll be asked to judge the music competition where people from all over the United States and Canada compete for the grand prize by playing different parts of their bodies. Last year's champion, Melvin Snurd, won by playing Claire de Lune on a part of his body we can't mention on TV. Now, that evening, you'll be the guests of honor at a sweetbread sit-down dinner held at the American Sportsman Slaughterhouse. There, along with the gaily decorated and gutted venison and farm animals, you'll be wined and dined until the wee hours of the morning. Finally, you'll be put up at the home of Mr. and Mrs. Hector Fern, who have offered to sleep on the sofa so that you can share their master bedroom suite. Decorated in true early American style, with outdoor plumbing just a small trot away. And remember, if you come back and tell us every romantic detail, you'll both split a grand prize of $10,000. I know it's almost too good to be true, but trust me, it is true. Now, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, which of these three ladies will be at your side for this date of a lifetime?
Well, Gene, if you remember the last time I was on this mating game, I had a little problem. The date, I was picked by the date, and it turned out to be a real nightmare, and it got real nasty. And all their answers were so good. I don't know. I don't want to make any decisions right now.
You're not going to give me a decision on this?
I just don't know. I got a little scared from the last time, and I don't know, but they're all so good.
Jim, just a second. We have a solution to that kind of problem here on the mating game. What we do in that sort of a situation is let the audience pick the date that they would most like to see you end up with. Now, does that sound fair to you?
Sounds all right to me.
All right. Excuse me, if you will. Of course, we will judge all of this by your applause, audience. It's up to you. Which one of these lovely ladies would you most like to see the Anvil go out with? Bachelorette number 1. Bachelorette number 2. Or Bachelorette number 3. Well, Jim, it sounds like the audience is pretty hot for Bachelorette number 3. Is that? Wait. It's pretty hot for Bachelorette number 3. Please. Get this jabroni. But before you meet her, meet the ones who got away. Sandy and Emma, come on over and kiss Jim goodbye. Oh, are they lovely?
Oh, no, this is more like it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. If you would just adjourn here, we're going to give the Anvil the opportunity of meeting the woman of your dreams. Bachelorette number 3, Clara Belle Dingham, come on down.
Clara Belle?
What do you mean? What's wrong?
Hey.
Oh, what the hell? Let's get it on.
How about that? Well, I'm afraid we're out of time for now, but this is Gene Okerlund, hoping you'll join us again next time when we prove that love ain't always pretty. Come on, girls, let's send the audience home with a big wet kiss. Are you ready? Here we go.
I always knew the Anvil was sick, and now I'm positive.
That man knows what he likes.
Obviously, he grabbed her, picked her up, and said, let's get it on. Let's get with it.
He knows what he likes.
What happened to the ones that got away, though?
They probably threw him back in. They were too small.
Well, you can bet that anything and anything will happen on TNT, especially with my good friend Gene Okerlund at the helm. But all that excitement, and you're going to see it all here as much as we can bring you on Primetime Wrestling every week. And of course, coming up, handsome Harley Race,
The king of wrestling.
We'll be back. Well, new here to the World Wrestling Federation, one handsome Harley Race, but certainly not new to the world of professional wrestling, Bobby.
That's correct.
Very impressive credentials.
Oh, he has credentials a mile long. Plus
Why does he want to be king? Why does he want to be known as the king?
Well, I think, not that he doesn't, that he wants to be known. That's the only name you can really call him. He's accomplished everything in professional wrestling. He is the king.
Well, maybe he'll get crowned by Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, in this match from the Boston Garden. Let's go to it.
Could be, Munson.
This match is one fall with a 20-minute time limit. First from Roanoke, Virginia, weighing 250 pounds, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. And his opponent from Kansas City, weighing 253 pounds, handsome Harley Race.
Handsome Harley Race. Can you believe that, Gene, with a moniker like Handsome, with that kisser?
And I had an opportunity to interview veteran Harley Race recently, and I said, where did you ever get the name Handsome from?
Can't wait for the response. What was it?
Heenan?
Oh, Bobby the Brain laid it on him, right?
Heenan's got good taste.
Oh. Well, he thinks those other two beauties of his are handsome as well, Bundy and Stud. So, you know where his taste lies. New here to the World Wrestling, excuse me, Gene, but not new, of course, to the world of professional wrestling. Harley Race has some very impressive credentials.
Indeed he does. I know it's going to be a great thrill for a man that has been around professional wrestling as long as Harley Race has to go to this great facility here at the Boston Garden with its tremendous tradition of professional wrestling and to go up against an opponent like Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas certainly will give anybody all they want at any given point in time, and most more than they want. Oh, beautiful scoop slam, showing us the power possessed by Mr. USA. And I think Harley was caught a little unaware. You best do your homework if you're going to stay here in the World Wrestling Federation. These guys will run you out in a hurry. Side headlock now by Mr. USA. When he clamps that on you, it'll give you Excedrin headache number 5.
I don't know if you notice, I'm sure you do, being the astute observer that you are, Gorilla Monsoon. Tony Atlas continually converses with his opponent. He's talking all the time.
He talks all the time.
He's a chatterbox.
In and out of the ring, both. He's a chatterbox in the locker room, on the planes, everywhere. He just loves to talk. I don't know. Oh, look at this side suplex. Harley wanted to get out of there in the worst way and picked the easiest way he knew, the most convenient. Drops an elbow, but Atlas long gone. A lot of guys get upset if you talk to them in the ring, Gene. Maybe Harley is one of them. I don't know.
If that's the case, it's an excellent ploy on the part of Atlas.
Still winding up now with this side headlock.
See, Tony hasn't lost any of it.
Absolutely not.
It looks excellent.
He's currently looking for another tag team partner here in the World Wrestling Federation. And as soon as he finds one, I'm sure that he'll be entering in that stiff tag team competition. But right now, he's got his hands full with handsome Harley Race. Harley, clean break? No way, shape, or form you're going to get it from him. Snapmare takes Mr. USA over. And Harley with a headbutt, but I told you he didn't do his homework, Gene.
And I can't believe that Harley Race is making claims right now to being the king, royalty, if you will, of professional wrestling.
Well, that's what he's claiming, Gene. I don't know. I think the jury's still out on it myself.
Why don't you just put the tights and the boots on and go to the arena in whatever town it happens to be in, whatever city, and just go in there and do the job.
Oh, look at that shot. Left-handed forearm uppercut. I don't care how hard your head is. That one, he caught right underneath the chin. Both men outside now.
Look at Race.
Race with determination going out right after Mr. Oh, look at that. Rammed him into the barricade surrounding the ring here, tipping it over. Hope there's no one trapped underneath there.
Referee has got his hands full with the likes of Mr. Race. Now Harley has established a reputation in the past for really bending the rules whenever it's to his advantage.
Let me ask you this, Gene. Being new here to the World Wrestling Federation, Harley Race, his first appearance or so here in the Boston Gardens, a match of this magnitude against Mr. USA Tony Atlas, and no Bobby the Brain Heenan.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I do know, however, that Heenan has tremendous trust and respect for Harley Race. Who knows, though, Gorilla Monsoon? It's conceivable Heenan could be here someplace.
He might be up in a third tier somewhere. Atlas finally making it back up on the apron. Now Harley took care of that in a hurry as he clotheslined him right on that top rope. And Race now telling the referee, Danny Davis, what his job is. He said, count. Of course, Danny Davis, one of the premier referees here in the World Wrestling Federation. And Tony doing the smart thing, taking a hike, Gene. Trying to clear the cobwebs a little bit.
He's got to get his act back together again after a couple of good blows like.
He might have hurt his hip. He's limping, Gene. He might have hurt his hip when he went into that barricade.
Not again.
Yep, snapped him right again.
Again.
Harley, of course, very deliberate in everything he does inside that squared circle. A real mechanic inside there. Like another fellow I know here in the World Wrestling Federation, Bret the Hitman Hart, who has excellence of execution, I call it.
Similar, very similar indeed. I think that's a good comparison.
Tony very slow to come up, and Harley, right, he's going to do it again, Jim. Oh, he's going to suplex him in.
Oh, watch out.
The hard way.
Oh!
Over for the cover. Very nonchalant cover, and Mr. USA just powered out of that.
Look at the expression on the face of Harley Race. He can't believe that Atlas kicked out.
Shock.
Like he did. That is incredible. Here's another setup on a possible suplex.
Oh, didn't get him up. Tony put the block on that one. And now it's whoever can get the best leverage, and Atlas does. And it's Harley who went down heavy.
You want to talk about a tug of war of sorts? That had to be it.
Atlas not sure what he wanted to do, gave Race enough time to get his wind back and dropped into emptiness.
Well, Tony had started to walk away. I think he had some, oh my word, had some second thoughts about where he was going to go after.
Couldn't make up his mind.
No, that hesitation gave Race just enough break that he needed.
Oh, look at that. Dropping the point of the knee right into the nose. 2 count. Whoa, was that close? But Atlas powers out once more. And I think Race is getting a little bent out of shape, Jim.
It's becoming very frustrating to veteran Harley Race. I think Race, in his own mind, astute enough to know that he should have put this guy away long before. He had the opportunity.
Neck breaker, well executed, as always, by Harley Race. Over for the cover. He's not going to get him here either, Gene. You're not going to beat Tony Atlas that way.
I'll tell you what, that's what makes Mr. Monsoon, the World Wrestling Federation, so much better than anything else you see.
The Rolls Royce of professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Tony Atlas now on the receiving end, and another elbow drop right across the throat. But once again, Tony with both arms out of there, able to kick out easily. And Race getting more disturbed with each kick up. Of course, he has so many ways he can put you away in.
Why is he trying headbutts on Atlas of all people?
Well, that's one of his fortes. That's one of Harley Race's fortes. But unfortunately for him, it is also the strong point of Mr. USA. Tony's got to mount some kind of offense here very shortly, or it will be shower time. Oh, reversal coming up. And Harley right through, might have rammed that left shoulder right into the steel post.
You know what that could mean?
The beginning of the end.
Separation, broken clavicle, any one of a number of injuries.
Atlas now mounting his own offense. Beal coming up out of the corner, and Race halfway across the ring. Atlas with a standing drop kick catches him right in the sternum, sending the handsome one down to the canvas. How quickly the tide can turn here in the world of professional wrestling.
What's Tony Atlas doing here?
I don't know. He's up on that second turnbuckle on the inside. Maybe a big headbutt coming up. Oh, Race, he stayed up there too long. Yes, there's that big headbutt. And that found the mark. Oh, Atlas coming down. Boy, did he telegraph that move, Gene.
And of course, Harley Race very quick to recognize what was coming up. And that had to be a tremendously deflating.
Sunset roll-up, hooks both shoulders, it's over.
Well, that did it. That was the setup.
Absolutely. After all the devastating things he did to Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, he beats him with a simple sunset flip because Tony Atlas literally beat himself. Let's get the official word.
The winner of this match, Handsome Harley Race.
Handsome Harley with his hand raised in a token of victory here in the Boston Garden. Let's go back and take a look, if we can, at how he polished off. Here's the mistake right here, Gene.
Atlas coming in for a body splash, and Harley Race recognizes what's coming up. He puts his knees up, and that had to totally deflate Tony Atlas. Harley Race very quick, back up onto his feet. By this time, it was all over. It was just fundamental sunset flip. Tony was out of it at this point in time, and Race gets the 1, 2, 3, and a pinfall.
Easy count. Tony Atlas falling victim to Handsome Harley Race. We'll be back.
Most impressive victory in the Boston Gardens by the newest find of, well, not find really, but newest member of the family of Bobby the Brain Heenan, Handsome Harley Race. To get by Mr. USA Tony Atlas is quite a feat.
Well, luck doesn't get you by Mr. Atlas.
No, definitely
Ability
not.
gets you by Mr. Atlas.
Absolutely.
And you notice he did everything right in front of the referee. He didn't break any rules. Everything was wrestling.
You know why?
Yeah.
You weren't there.
I don't have to always be there.
I would have thought with a match of this magnitude that you would definitely have been there. You were out probably talking to the immigration people or something.
Let's put it this way. I was doing something very important to the future of Bundy, Stud, and Race, and myself.
I'm sure you were.
But you're right again, Monsoon. I was out doing something
important. Are you sick? Are you ill this week? Or?
No, I feel fine. Why?
Right now, wrestling fans, we're going to
Never
go
felt
to a special interview with my friend Ken Resnick, along with an individual who's going to get 15,000 from this guy.
Very much, Gorilla Monsoon. Now, Gorilla, I know you and I have talked about it, and fans all over may have seen the incident in question on the World Wrestling Federation Network. And I am talking about the day that King Tonga roared out to the ring right on television, picked up the giant John Studd and slammed him to the mat. Now, you all know for months and months, Bobby the Brain Heenan and John Studd have said it will be $15,000 to any man who slams the giant. King Tonga did it, and King Tonga, I know how frustrating it has to be because now Bobby Heenan says no, he will not pay you. The reason being, as I understand, is he claims it was not during a regularly scheduled match.
Well, in a way, I don't blame him because I asked for the chance. But let me tell you something, Kenny. You know, the moment when I pick up John Studd in the ring, you know, it was just like that story about the mother run to help his son under the car. You know, at that moment when she picked up the car and saved her son, you know, it was just like that moment when I pick up John Studd, you know, the moment of it, when I pick up John Studd and slam him. But now there's all kind of story about the money, $15,000. He promised that he's going to give $15,000 to anybody and slam the big man called John Studd. Now, where's the money?
Well, I guess that gives you a little insight into the inner workings of the mind of Bobby the Brain Heenan and Big John Studd. But now, King Tonga, I would imagine you're besieging World Wrestling Federation President Jack Tunney, promoters all around the country for a regularly scheduled battle with John Studd.
Well, you know, I've been asking him too, but, you know, he said that there's a time for this. I have to prove to the people again. But what can I say? I proved to the people right on national TV that I slammed John Studd. It wasn't a paper. It was a giant that I pick up and slam him right in front of millions of people.
All right, well, wrestling fans, again, certainly we have not heard the end of the giant John Studd and King Tonga. And one thing for certain, King Tonga has proved beyond a shadow of doubt he is truly one of the strong men in the World Wrestling Federation. We'll be back right after this.
Harley Race entered the World Wrestling Federation about the same time as this man we're going to take a look at right now. Billy Jack Haynes entered the World Wrestling Federation, and Billy Jack comes in with impressive credentials as well.
You're right, Gorilla. Very impressive credentials.
Somebody send you a box of nice pills this week or something? That's about the 5th time you've agreed with me.
Well, am I right? Doesn't he have a lot of credentials?
He certainly does. We're going to find out just how good he is as we go to the Boston Gardens, and he takes on Moondog Rex.
Fans are really in for a treat. Billy Jack, master of the full Nelson.
They say he executes it very much like Charles Atlas.
Charles Atlas from the premieres of yesterday. Put a lot of guys away with a full Nelson.
You can do it.
One of the classic matches I saw him in years ago, Gene, he against Yukon Eric.
Oh, that had to be. Oh, that had to be. Billy Jack Haynes, Portland, Oregon, a gentleman, I guess, Gorilla Monsoon, who kind of travels to the beat of a different drum. He prefers to go it alone.
He certainly does. He's a real loner. Look out. Rex sends him off. Nice shoulder block. Sends a big guy down. Oh, Billy Jack right over the top in a hurry. He's quick. Nice counter to the hip lock. Standing drop kick. 1 foot caught him. Very agile.
I like his moves. He seems to set everything up in some kind of a chronological order.
Absolutely so. Very, very quick and agile. Carrying around about 270 pounds or so.
Well, he introduced him at 258. I would probably say that's fair. Still a distinct weight disadvantage over the Moondog.
You got that referee in there again, Gene, who can't keep his hands off the wrestler. He'll get an education one night in a hurry. I used to love those kind of referees. They make life miserable.
Bingo.
Reverse double chin lock now by Billy Jack Haynes.
Haynes very proud of who he is, where he's from, and hopefully where he's going. You see on the back of his tights, Oregon. Boy, is that beautiful. That entire northwestern United States.
Those are the colors, are they not, Gene? Green and gold? Or...
I wouldn't question you on it.
Whoa, right down on the back of the cranium. Nice surprise move by Rex. And a nice clothesline. I'll give you a negative attitude.
Well, he followed with that very prudently timed clothesline to Mr. Haynes. Welcome, Billy Jack Haynes, to the World Wrestling Federation.
He's going to be around a long time. Oh, look at the backbreaker coming up.
I find Haynes there to be a very articulate young man also.
Yes, extremely so. And a nice guy. Well, Moondog seemed fit this week to break up in the single competition here in the Boston Garden. Everyone knows what their capabilities are as tag team partners, but it remains to be seen what they can do in individual competition. So far, Rex faring fairly well. Looks like somebody didn't bother to check the Moondog's fingernails before this match started. Snap Bear takes Billy Jack over. Look out. That's 300 pounds plus. Coming right down onto the side of the face. Wow, he managed to get that right arm out of there. Able to kick out. Wow, that looks like maybe a smother.
Referee quick to check it out, however. Apparently making the determination that indeed it wasn't.
I believe any real significant determinations are beyond this referee. Nice shoulder block off the ropes by Billy Jack. Oh, got caught in a nice hip lock. As the Moondog got up in a hurry, dropped an elbow, but a little bit late with it.
Well, I think it did some partial damage. Haynes about to roll out, but I believe the Moondog did catch it with a piece of that.
Nice block that now turns the tables on Rex. Billy Jack still trying to clear the cobwebs. Nice block of the right hand. Delivers one of his own, and the same procedure again. Oh, excuse me.
Now that got Rex's attention.
Certainly did. Billy Jack Haynes looks to be a little upset here in the Boston Garden.
That was a very unique and different move.
So to get your attention. Oh, right up over the top backwards. Long way down for Rex Moondog.
300 pounds going cattywampus over that top rope. I think I should point out to a little Monsoon, Moondog Rex. He had opened up a little bit in the facial area.
Hard to tell from my vantage point, Keith, but your eyesight's a whole lot better than mine. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. Another drop kick, that a beauty. Oh, yes, he is. He's busted wide open, James.
What point in time does the referee make a determination that he calls the match because of it?
Well, it's usually, Gene, when that blood starts to flow so freely that it gets into your eyes and you really can't see, and then you're completely at the mercy of your opponent. Oh, leapfrog by Billy Jack and a nice clothesline. Oh, he's hot.
He's talking to us.
Oh, there's the full Nelson. Slaps it on right in the center of the ring, high up onto the back of the head. And Moondog, he didn't waste any time. Can you imagine the pressure involved there?
That works. That works. That was just an excellently executed full Nelson. He turns it on, puts the pressure on.
He certainly did.
The winner of this match by submission, Billy Jack Haynes.
Let's go back and take a look if we can. Look at this nice leapfrog as he very gingerly gets up to the end on his clothesline. Really sets his
Well, there's the series, as I mentioned earlier on. It seems like he programs himself out of the ring.
Continuity.
He's in a programming mode, if you will.
Look at this, slips right behind. And once he laces those fingers together, notice how high the hands are up on the back of the head, because that's really where all that pressure comes from.
Most tell me that's the secret to that, the full Nelson.
Making a very successful debut here in the Boston Garden, Billy Jack Haynes will be back.
Very impressive individual. And you know what struck me as I watched that match for the second time is that when he applies that full Nelson, he applies it with so much force, yet he's able to get his fingers apart rather easily.
Well, you know, another thing I noticed there, you take a guy like Rex, Moondog Rex, he isn't your average guy like Bob Newhart that has a 37-inch sleeve length and no neck or chest muscles.
No, he's a big,
pretty hard to
impressive
get
guy.
those.
Yeah.
Very impressive. You're right about that. That's very impressive.
Why do you keep agreeing with me this
You want me
week?
to disagree with you? I just want to make you happy. Being the host, it's my job to make the co-hosts as happy as I can make them. And what you're saying is correct, and I'm just agreeing.
Why don't you then give me 15 grand and I'll give it to
Because you'd head to Atlantic City.
who
and
we're
we wouldn't
going
see
to
you
look
for
at
3 hours.
next, King Tonga. Why don't you do that?
You didn't earn it.
Certainly did. Slam Big John Studd on national TV right in the center of the ring, and this guy, my host here, 15 grand for it. We'll be back. We're back, wrestling fans, and about to take a look at the Duke of Dorchester. Who is that, Bobby?
Pete Doherty.
Pete
Who
Doherty.
else? I'm going to explain to the people after this match why King Tonga is not getting the $15,000. It's going to be plain and simple. I'm just going to explain it
There
once
is
and
no
for all.
explanation. The only
There is.
explanation could be a lie, or would be a lie.
Not as bad as the lie you told about Andre the Giant and the Giant Machine.
Let's go to the Boston Garden.
I'll
Take a look
explain it
at the
all.
Duke of Dorchester.
Trust me.
This match is one fall with a 20-minute time limit. First from Dorchester, Massachusetts, weighing 240 pounds, the Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty. His opponent from Tonga, weighing 265 pounds, King Tonga.
King Tonga against the Duke of Dorchester. Gorilla Monsoon here at ringside in the Boston Garden with Mean Gene Okerlund. Tonga is 15,000 richer, Gene, but he hasn't collected it yet.
I don't know if he ever will collect the money. As everybody knows, everybody in the wrestling world knows that King Tonga indeed slammed Big John Studd.
The Duke attacks immediately. I'm sure, wow, look at that shot by Tonga. And a headbutt. Tonga on the rampage. He doesn't like to be suckered like that, Gene.
Didn't even have an opportunity to take part of his gear off, and of course, a very assertive Pete Doherty was in there. All over Tonga, and that's not going to happen to this big man from the South Pacific.
Well, another big tag team combination here now in the World Wrestling Federation. He and CV Afi have been teaming up of late and doing a tremendous job.
They're going to be good.
Full Nelson being applied. Oh, look at that. Broken easily. Stepped right behind. Oh, watch out. Mr. Doherty is in for a hard drop here. Wow, right on his back. Well, after all, he was only telling him what the referee asked him to do, Jim. He did what he was asked.
He doesn't speak the language all that well. I'm sure there's a few things he doesn't understand. However,
can't imagine anyone getting that big on coconuts and bananas, though.
Oh, he's put together.
Oh, my God, yes. What a powerhouse. And when the adrenaline starts flowing in his system, he has the strength of at least 5 or 6 men.
Tremendously explosive.
Big smile on the face of Doherty. Look at the power shown here by King Tonga as he places him gingerly right on that top turnbuckle. Could have did anything he wanted to there, but chose to do nothing.
Tonga, another of the many greats we see out of the South Pacific. Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, who chooses to go without the shoes.
Very, very difficult thing to do, Gene. On all my years as a pro wrestler, I only entered the ring without shoes on, I think, once or twice, and that was under duress because somebody had forgotten to pack them, either myself or someone else. And otherwise, no way, shape, or form I ever do that. Oh, step over toe hold, but didn't hang on to it very long as Tonga is lightning quick. It's so easy to get stone cold. Shit split.
Look at the mush on this Dorchester. That's a face only a mother can love. I'm not too sure about that.
Well, I have to check with his mom on that one, Jim. Finger right to the eye. I don't care how big and powerful you are when somebody sticks their thumb right in your eye. Take its course.
We'll take the wind out of your sails.
That's a mistake. Doherty did not do his homework. Tonga with extremely hard training. The Duke does the wise thing, bails out.
No, it's surprising to little Monsoon, who is a former professional wrestler. Really had got to be impressed at the tremendous speed that King Tonga possesses in light of his size.
Well, that's youth.
Yeah, that helps.
That's youth. There's no substitute for that. But he is extremely agile and quick. Oh, short turnbuckle job done by the Duke. Watch out. Oh, we might as well send him a telegram on that particular move. Tonga now unloading with the karate shots. Master of quite a few of the martial arts. Winding up the Duke now. Standing front kick on him right in the mush.
Right in the face. How much more of that can Doherty take?
Not a whole lot. That's the wrong thing to do, trying to exchange blows with King Tonga. Once again, into the turnbuckle. The Duke is fighting with everything he's got. He's got a lot of supporters here in Washington. Oh, look at that nice move to the side. Slips right underneath with a nice arm drag. He's showing him the finesse side. Reverse thrust kick right underneath the jaw. Look out. Flying headbutt right to the sternum area. Get the shower ready.
Oh, that's all she wrote. What a phenomenal effort on the part of King Tonga.
Tonga having a good time here at the Boston Garden at the expense of the Duke of Dorchester. Let's get the official word.
Here is your winner, King Tonga.
Great effort, but still a good match for King Tonga. He certainly did not give up anywhere along the line.
Well, the Duke is not a quitter any way, shape, or form. He'll get in there with anybody. Let's take a look at how he wrapped it up here. Nice forward roll, showing us that speed and agility. Now a couple of nice quick arm drags. Catches the Duke coming in. And now watch this move. Sends him in. Big backdrop. Oh, right down on his left hip.
He hit hard.
Oh,
He hit hard.
20 years from now, Gene, he'll be limping around wondering why. Look at that reverse thrust kick right on the jaw. Tonga realizes he's got him in a compromising position. Spiral headbutt coming down right in the sternum area. Decides to hook the leg. Good night. 1, 2, 3. As Doherty in vain tries to kick out.
Good win for King Tonga.
Tonga on to victory here in the Boston Garden. We'll be back.
Well, the Duke lasted a little longer than I thought he was going to last, Bobby.
Well, he's a tough competitor. Everybody knows that.
Well, Duke of Dorchester is someone to contend with. Go ahead.
I'd like to explain.
You got the floor. Go ahead.
Of course, I'm the host. I'd like to explain why King Tonga, I can't say that word, it's such a ridiculous name, is not getting the money. Tonga is not getting the money.
King
First
Tonga.
of all, John Studd gave him the opportunity to pick up gave two other people, Rick Hunter and Jim Powers, 2 men. He didn't have to. He gave 2 men the opportunity to slam him, to pick up $15,000. They couldn't do it. Tonga jumped in the ring. He wanted the $15,000. He wanted the chance. Well, we didn't select him. It happens it wasn't his night to be selected. At the end of the match, what happens? He jumps into the ring, sneaks up behind John Studd, hooks him in a reverse like hip lock fashion, had the tights, held him up kind of off to the side, and rolled with him. Now,
Lie. You're lying, Bobby. Plain as the look on your face.
I am
you're
not
lying.
lying.
Yes. No. First of all, Jack Tunney, my friend, will clear this all up. We'll be back in just a moment. Wrestling fans, I gave the brain a minute to explain something. He's been nice all week this week, and gave him a minute. He destroyed himself in that 1 minute. You don't have to be nice anymore. Lied. This is the USA Network. You don't lie on the USA Network.
we'll see who lies after this piece of
Let's
tape.
go right down now and take a look at another colleague of mine, Mean Gene Okerlund, still in Japan, still with the giant machine and the super machine.
Japanese wrestlers.
Headache for this guy.
Liar.
All right, fans, Mean Gene Okerlund on assignment, as I have been for the past 10 days in the country of Japan, in the city of Tokyo, Osaka, and Sapporo, scouring this country to find the likes of Japan's hottest tag team combination from Sapporo, Japan, the Super Machine at 130 kilo, and from the island of Fuyutu, standing at 220 centimeters tall, and weighing, get this, 230 kilo, the Giant Machine. Konnichiwa, gentlemen. You know, I found you last week after a long search in the Hoppo Inn restaurant in Tokyo, Japan. Beautiful facility, beautiful, beautiful part of the world. And you are the hottest team in Japan right now. You're going to be arriving in the United States in the World Wrestling Federation with tremendous credentials. I know that you both speak English very well. You're very articulate. You were English educated. And you wait a minute.
Super Machine.
The Super Machine, yes. I know that the two of you are looking forward to arriving in the USA and the World Wrestling Federation. It is Ichiban. Oh, my word.
Our stable master, Wakamatsu-san. Dozo, dozo.
Sure, no problem.
Our stable master, Wakamatsu-san, has informed us for us to be accepted not only here in our homeland of Japan, for us to be accepted as the #1 Ichiban tag team in the whole world, we must go to the United States.
I think it's fundamental. You know, you have a striking resemblance to somebody that I've met before. You sound very much like the mess.
No, impossible. I have spent my wrestling time here in Japan.
All right, and without saying, and please forgive me if I offend you, but you, Giant Machine, are terribly reminiscent of one Andre the Giant, perhaps the world's most famous wrestler.
Mr. T-Man, it's only one giant. It is the Giant Machine.
There's only one giant, and it is the Giant Machine.
Hi.
All right. Well, there are a number of people who may dispute that. One of them would have to be Big John Studd. The other would have to be King Kong Bundy. They are a couple of the premier athletes in the World Wrestling Federation.
Those two professional wrestlers, they come in Japan before. We see them before in television. But now, Mr. Takamatsu signed contract with Mr. Captain Lou Albano.
Captain Lou Albano.
Hi. And now we come in the United States of America to wrestling against John Studd, King Kong Bundy, and anybody else.
All right. Well, there are a number, of course,
challenge everybody.
Great superstars in the World Wrestling Federation. Thank you, sir.
Hi.
Thank you. Hi. That confuses me. It means,
That means yes
in Japanese.
in Japanese.
You certainly are aware of the talents of Studd and Bundy and their manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. He's sometimes called the Weasel.
The Weasel?
The weasel.
What means weasel?
Weasel is a very small little ground rodent. You know what I mean.
Domo, yes, I. We are familiar with Mr. Stud and Mr. Bundy. Our advisor, Wakamatsu-san, tells us that they are very worthy opponents. We are looking forward, gentlemen, to a confrontation, to a fight. We are out to prove that we are Ichiban Tag Team in the whole world.
Well, you'll certainly have an opportunity, gentlemen, I will say in all due respect, to prove just that. When you arrive in the United States of America, tremendous country, tremendous wrestling fans, second to none, you're going to have an opportunity to make your mark with those tremendous superstars. I'm talking about the Super Machine and the Giant Machine.
Obviously, they got all their paperwork straightened out. They're on their way here. Does that make you happy?
Let me ask you a question now.
Sure.
Was that Andre the Giant or not?
It's a big guy underneath that mask and underneath that wrestling
Is that Andre
attire.
the Giant or not?
It's possible.
Of course
I'm not
it's
saying
possible.
it is. How could you say it is? The guy's got a mask
He
on.
talks just like Andre the Giant.
Andre the
Can't you
Giant
hear?
doesn't speak English that well.
Doesn't speak English that well. The guy can't even laugh in English. What do you mean speaks English that well? That is Andre the Giant.
You honestly believe that, don't you?
And
You should
call
be
me a
extremely
liar.
upset
And the other
then.
guy pretends like he don't even know what a weasel is. Everybody knows who the
Know what
weasel
a weasel is? You're the weasel.
No, I mean, I'm not the weasel. I mean,
Sure you are.
He would know what a weasel is. They're from the United States of America.
That's the first truthful thing you said
I
since
didn't
you've
say
been here
I
on
was the
Prime
weasel.
Time Wrestling. You said you were the weasel.
You're not going to make a fool out of the host.
Extremely upset. Bobby the Brain.
Every week at this time, you
At
do
the
it.
Super
You're
Machine
not going to do
and
it
the
this
Giant
week.
Machine. We'll be
Put the
back with
camera
our
on me.
feature match
Put it
in
on
just
me.
a moment. What do you want to do about it? You want to make an international incident
Yes, I'm
over
going
this whole
to.
thing?
Yes, I am going to. You can bet on it that I am going to.
I don't believe you'll ever get any satisfaction.
Hey, I got the Giants suspended once. I'm going to do it again. Albano and everybody's going to be finished.
Andre the Giant is currently not here.
And he's not coming here either. Over my dead body.
Well, that remains to be seen. Right now, wrestling fans, our feature coming up. Hulk Hogan teaming up with Mr. Wonderful
that
Paul
tape.
Orndorff against
Soon
the
as you get
Moondogs. Let's go to ringside.
Bring it to me.
In the ring at this time, from parts unknown, at a total combined weight of 557 pounds, Rex and Spock, the Moondogs. And their opponents, from Tampa, Florida, weighing 262 pounds, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And his partner from Venice Beach, California, weighing 302 pounds, the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, Hulk Hogan.
Sure can. You look at these people all standing. Everybody's up on their feet. I'll tell you what, though. These Moondogs are a tough tag team combination. And the Moondogs know that they have a golden opportunity here. If the Moondogs defeat Orndorff and Hogan, they're going to catapult to the #1 spot of contention. That's for sure, and they are tough. We know how tough the Moondogs are, but that's a big match.
Bulldog spot gets nowhere to shoulder. That scoops up the Hulkster down. A slam by the Hulkster. Bulldog Rex tagged in. Champion Hulk Hogan takes him over the hill. A Elijah scoop. And another slap. Paul Orndorff wants to tag in. He wants to tag in badly. The Hulkster just did just that. Orndorff off the rope. Whoa, behind the Bulldog. Off the rope again. Forearm, and down goes Bulldog Rex. What a blow. What? Orndorff with a slam on Bulldog Rex. Look
enough guys in there. He's saying, come on out here, center ring. And here comes Rex.
Yes, the larger of the two Moondogs. Moondog Rex with Paul Orndorff back to the corner. Goes downstairs. Tries to set him up. Yes, works him on Orndorff. Paul Orndorff, a one-man gang in there at the moment. Hulk Hogan wanting to tag in. But meanwhile, the Spot who tagged Rex. Orndorff still hanging on. The side headlock. Taking straight behind Orndorff's back. Spinning away. Hogan looking for the tag. Not yet.
Well, Orndorff says, I still have things to do in here.
Moondog Rex. Getting ready to lock back up with Paul Orndorff.
Yeah, but in all honesty, Hogan wants to tag in and Orndorff should tag out because as a team, it's better to make little quicker tags out there.
Keep your partner fresh. Meanwhile, Orndorff just doing a superb job. Missing the flying body grab too. Can't punch it. We're chanting, we want Hulk. And I'll tell you what, Orndorff is cleaning house all by himself. Handful of hair on the Moondog. Orndorff reaching way back, rocking back now. Hulkster moves around to the near side. Ready to help his partner Orndorff. Now here, look at that. Orndorff goes from one Moondog to the other. Paul Orndorff. One-man gang. Hulkster out. Shoulders up for Orndorff. Hulkster up again over Moondog. Rex right back in front of him. Collision. Go, leapfrog. They cut him right off. You see what they did there?
Sure did. They sure did. And there was a spot there.
That's what'll happen if you stay in there too long. They'll figure out your maneuvers.
Just did a big suplex. Now, yeah, tag out.
I'm surprised Orndorff was in a bit of trouble. He is in a bit of trouble. Had the opportunity to tag the Hulkster. Now you see the Moondogs with their frequent tags.
Well, right now, Orndorff's in trouble. Oh, here it comes.
What? Well, they're holding it back. Look out. Moondog Rex. Paul Orndorff with Rex. Covers him. And a 3 count. Paul Orndorff wanting to hear the loud roar of the crowd. And the Hulkster, proud as he can be, because Orndorff was indeed a one-man gang.
The team of Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan.
Well, I certainly hope King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd were looking on here, because this is just a sampling of what's going to happen next week when Orndorff and the Hulkster team up once again and take on the extraordinary, perhaps the most awesome tag team combination in the WWF today in Studd and Bundy. Let's go back and pick up the replay.
Well, I didn't quite exactly understand the logic in that match. Orndorff seemed to dominate the amount of ring time. When you got a partner in your corner that's the world's heavyweight champion, he deserves equal time.
Well, that's what's going to be their demise. See, they're not used to working tag team matches.
That was
Studd
obvious.
and Bundy are.
That was obvious.
See, the Moondogs are. Even Rotunda, the Sheik and Volkov are. Rotunda and Spivey. They're tag teams. These are two individuals.
Well, I don't know, Bobby. I saw something in Mr. Wonderful that I haven't seen in quite some time, and it was obvious to me that I don't know. He seems to be on some kind of an ego trip.
Well,
maybe.
he's the old Mr. Wonderful. He says he's going out there and he's going to do some kicking.
Well, I'll tell you what. He showed me a great deal of intelligence too in picking as his partner, the Hulkster, and you've got to be in deep, deep trouble come next week when you know who the opponents are, Studd and Bundy. Well, that wraps up another week here on Prime Time Wrestling. Talk about controversy. What is that?
This right here is what is going to make Bobby the Brain Heenan the smartest man in professional wrestling, which he is already. This is the tape of Andre the Giant and the other masked guy with Gene Okerlund in Japan. And I'm taking this right to the president.
What, Jack Tunney, what's he going to do?
No,
about it?
not Jack Tunney, video breath. I'm taking this right to the president, my friend from California, Ronald Reagan. They got a little trouble getting in their country. They'll never be able to leave Japan. They're stuck there the rest of their lives. Hope they like rice. I hope they like geisha girls. I hope you like rickshaws, because that's where you're going to be the rest of your life. I got the proof here, Andre. Take the mask off. Be a man.
You couldn't even make a phone call, and you're going to reach the president. Give me a break. Next week, our
Being
feature
right
here on Primetime, Hulk Hogan and his partner, Mr. Wonderful, take on King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd. Stay tuned for TNT.
Over.